If cancer is the thing that kills people, why are there people walking around in their 60s?
Ooh, that's a good question. Now, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe because you gotta think. Okay, so chemo is harsh. Um, it is very harsh, but different people and their bodies react to things differently, right? So my granddaddy on my dad's side, he's been in remission twice, and I swear to God, the man almost 90. He probably in his 90s. I don't know, but both times he's had cancer, it was once. I want to say once in his 70s and once in his 80s. He has had cancer. He's still alive and well and kicking, and he's been in remission twice. Now, my dad, he also had cancer. And by the time he found out he had cancer, I don't even think my dad took any kind of chemo or anything, because by the time he found out he had cancer, it was already like they gave him like 6 months to live type of situation. And when I reflected back on conversations I would have with my dad back in like 2013, he used to talk about how his back, from I was a little girl actually, he always used to talk about how he had back pain, how his back hurt so bad. But I don't think it was to the extreme to where he thought anything was wrong. I think he just thought he had back problems. And then in like 2013, we were talking and he was saying how he would always be hungry. He was like, it's just like, it don't matter how much I eat, I still be hungry, almost like I have a tapeworm or I don't have a bottom to my stomach. And he ended up with it wasn't pancreatic, it was prostate. He ended up with prostate cancer. And it took him out bad, like bad. But he probably had it all of those years. And then myself, I wasn't feeling sick. I wasn't tired. I wasn't down and I wasn't none of that. I did have a mass. It was like right here, and it was really hard, and it was probably like that big, that wide. I didn't think nothing of it. I don't know why I didn't assume it was cancer. Oh, probably because when I would look it up, I don't know. I didn't think it was cancerous. I'll just say that. And I can't really remember when I started to feel it, but I would also have like a burning sensation like here. And I want to say I had it like that maybe like a week straight last year sometime. But I ain't paying no mind. I was just like, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know what that is. And so probably would have ignored that part. And then when my armpit started hurting, y'all see what I'm sitting at? I was sitting like this. I was trying to keep it like this because if I put my arm all the way up, it hurt. When I lifted my arm up like this, it hurt. When I put my arm down, it really hurt. So I was sitting over here like this, and I was like, I don't know what this is up under my freaking armpit, but it hurt so freaking bad. And I was just going to let it ride out until my chest got swollen. When I seen that my chest was swollen, and the pain was from here all the way to here. So when I seen that my chest was swollen right here in this area, I was like, that's weird. Maybe I show up to the emergency room. So I worked that day, and I said, you know what? If I get off and I take a nap and I wake up, if my chest is still swollen, I'm going to the emergency room. And I went to the emergency room, and they kept asking me if I was sick, if I was getting over a sickness. I kept saying nope, because I wasn't. And the reason why is because my white blood count was spiked. I didn't know what that meant either, but that meant infection. So when they did the ultrasound under my armpit, they seen the lymph node. They was like, hey, sis, you need to go see your PCP. Went to go see my PCP. PCP started blowing up my phone. Went to go see her. She was like, hey, you need to go get a biopsy. Start looking up places to get a biopsy. And we're here now. We're here. We're here now. And so chemo was harsh on me, but I did not experience what other people experience. Like other people experience bone pain, neuropathy, sores in their mouths, getting diabetes, super high sugar. A lot of people experience those things, and I'm talking about people that I have conversed with that are around my age. One girl told me, she was like, yeah, I developed diabetes and you probably gonna get it too. I was like, no, sis, that is not what God got for me, baby. That is not my story. But right after that, when I was going to get my chemo, my sugar was extremely high. My sugar was high. I'm talking about, it was so high one day, the lady came out and was like, Are you a diabetic? I was like, She said, your sugar is high. Like, they almost didn't even want to give me my chemo. But chemo has the ability to skyrocket your sugar and all of that stuff. So they tell you have to be careful about what you eat and all of that, but ain't nobody tell me that. You know, ain't nobody tell me that. But nevertheless, it different people encounter different things. So maybe that's why sometimes with older people, when they take chemo, because over time your body starts breaking down anyway. So if you've had cancer and you've not known that you had cancer, your body is not reacting a certain type of way because you've been living with this cancer. But once you start to get chemo does affect other things in your body. Like, yeah, it's killing the cancer, but it's attacking your organs. Like when I took the AC, I don't know what it's called, child. They call it it's called AC. They call it the Red Devil. When I took that, before they were supposed to administer it, which I had 4 rounds of it, they send you to the heart doctor to get your heart checked. And once you're done with it, they send you back to the heart doctor because that particular form of chemo has the ability to affect your heart. So yeah, although it is killing the cancer, it is also damaging things in your body. So that's probably why I end up taking older people out a lot faster, because your body is already older, your organs are already older, and the cancer weighs on your body too, because the longer you have cancer without it being diagnosed, it in turn causes pain and problems and all of those things. So it's so many different variables that goes along with it. But I'm not gonna necessarily say it is the just the chemo, because I do feel like, you know, yeah, but I'm not gonna say it's just the chemo. It is also the fact that you're older, on top of the cancer that has already caused damage. Because you got to think, when a person has cancer and that stuff begins to spread, it gets into your bones. Like with my daddy never took chemo, bro. My daddy eyes was like my eyes. The last time I seen my daddy, like a couple weeks before he passed away, his eyeballs was way out here. They were way out here because the cancer had spread to his skull. It had spread to his brain. It was all in his bones. It caused him to go blind. And then after he went blind, it literally was like his head was squeezing until his eyeballs began to pop out. That was with no chemo. So it could be a number of things. That's just my outlook on it.